Hey folks, before we begin, please be aware that we are recording this webinar. If you have any questions about the resources, we encourage you to follow up via email at support@electionsgroup.com. Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Annie, and I'm an election expert with the Elections Group.
Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca, Communications and Program Manager here at the Elections Group.
For those of you who may be joining us for the first time, the Elections Group is an election administration consulting firm. We partner with state and local election officials to implement new programs or improve processes for voters and stakeholders. We provide guidance, resources, and direct management support for jurisdictions. Our team is made up of former election officials and election experts from across the United States. We're pleased to have you all with us today for the next highlight of resources for the election administration community. Each week, we'll showcase resources from the Elections Group, paired with resources from other organizations in the election space. Every 4 weeks, we'll focus on a different topic, and we'll take a deeper dive into the resources available each week.
This month, we will focus on ballot processing and chain of custody. This week, we are highlighting the Election Group's Ballot Replication Guide and the Overseas Voting Initiative's Ballot Duplication series. Let's get into the resources.
Thanks, Rebecca. Ballot duplication is a term well known to and commonly used by election officials throughout the U.S. This long existing term, also known as ballot replication, ballot remaking, and less commonly, but perhaps most accurately, ballot transcription, may sound a bit mysterious or perhaps downright nefarious to those not involved in the day-to-day intricacies of state and local election administration. In the midst of a presidential election cycle, it is important to explain this sometimes misunderstood term and demystify it. Now more than ever, a thorough understanding of this process is important, especially as all election processes receive extra attention and focus from the public, media, and other stakeholders as we approach November. Ballot duplication remains a critically important concept for election officials in 2024 and beyond, and it's important to understand why. The Council of State Governments Overseas Voting Initiative Working Group of state and local election officials studied and issued recommendations to improve ballot duplication for state and local election officials with military and overseas ballots as the focal point in 2016. In 2017, OVI expanded these recommendations. In all states, Washington, D.C., and the 5 U.S. territories, groups of voters who meet certain jurisdictional qualifications can cast remote ballots using a vote-by-mail or absentee voting process. Many of these voters are military and overseas voters covered by the Uniformed and Overseas Citizens Absentee Voting Act, who do not have the option to vote in person within their voting jurisdiction in the U.S. With the passage of the Military and Overseas Voter Empowerment Act, all UOCAVA voters can receive their ballots electronically, typically via email or an online portal. Additionally, some states allow ballots to be returned electronically, most commonly by email via portal and fax. According to the U.S. Election Assistance Commission, ballot duplication is the process for replacing damaged or improperly marked ballots, like the voting system cannot read the ballot, with a new ballot that preserves the voter's intent. This ballot duplication process creates a clean ballot with the voter's choices that can be read by ballot tabulation equipment. The process also ensures that the original voter-marked ballot is retained for the record, including any required auditing. It is the duplicated or described clean ballot and not the damaged one that is counted by tabulation equipment. Rebecca, I'll pass it over to you.
Awesome, thank you. All right, we are going to get into the ballot replication guide. So ballot replication is a vital step in processing hand-marked paper ballots. In the simplest of terms, ballot replication refers to the process of producing a replicated ballot to replace a ballot that is not able to be scanned. Invariably, some ballots in every election will require replication. Election officials and their teams take every possible step to ensure all eligible ballots are scanned and counted. Ballot replication involves replacing a damaged or unscannable ballot with a new ballot that election staff have marked in the same way as the original. This ensures that every voter has their voice heard, a process that is particularly critical for military and overseas voters. The process of replicating a ballot is sometimes referred to as ballot remakes or ballot duplication. We like the term ballot replication here at TAG. To replicate means to make an exact copy of something. Voters and or observers may misconstrue ballot replication as ballot tampering. However, where election officials have standard operating procedures that are clearly communicated to observers, allowing transparent observation of the replication process, elections offices can demonstrate how the election's integrity can demonstrate the election's integrity and relieve some of these concerns. This guide provides election administrators with these principles, considerations, and best practices for ballot replication, and it will help in developing specific procedures and practices that align with local laws, regulations, and technology preferences. We recommend downloading it today, taking a peek, and getting started. All right. This week, we also have an In the Wild example from Los Angeles County. So Los Angeles County, California opened a new ballot processing center in March of this year that aims to streamline the voting process. The ballot processing center serves as a single secure location to tally the majority of votes cast in each election. There are many areas for public viewing in addition to video surveillance throughout. While many jurisdictions may not have the resources that LA County has, many can still take LA's technologies, space, and layout considerations into their own voting processing operations. Kudos to LA County and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Rebecca. That's it for today. So thank you everyone for joining us for a great discussion. The resources mentioned in today's discussion have been placed into the chat. As always, we'd love to see if you've used any of the resources provided in our chat so far. If you've used or customized one of the resources, let us know. Send us an email with a screenshot or a description. And our inbox is always open if you have any additional questions. Please email us at support@electionsgroup.com. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.